If you want some FIFA 23 coins, please check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're fast, cheap and reliable, and if you use code REMA you can get yourself a 5% discount. So what's up guys, my name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I'm actually having to record this video standing up because my dog will not move out of the front of my chair. But yeah, at the moment we're 8-0 in Fut Champions and I've got some 4-4-2 custom tactics that I've been finding really good in FIFA 23. Now the good thing about the 4-4-2 is it's a tactic, it's a formation where you can press very well and you can create a lot of chances when you are losing. So I do actually use a 4-2-3-1 alongside this when I start the game. I uploaded a video on that yesterday, so if you guys want to see that, there is a link in the top right hand corner of the screen. But let's get on to the 4-4-2 custom tactics and explain why we have what we have. So with the 4-4-2, because again I use it as a formation where I can press quite effectively when I need a goal, and it's also still quite solid so you're not throwing away the game, I like to use press after possession loss, because when you lose the ball, your opponents when they are winning like to pass it around quite a lot. They don't like to give you many chances, so by having it on press after possession loss, when your opponent wins the ball back, you can make them panic a little bit and you can create easy chances when you win the ball back. Now for width I have this on 40 because although the 4-4-2 is a wider formation, I still don't like it being too wide because it's just too easy to play through. So having the width on 40 gives your team that nice width where they're not too narrow, but they're also not too wide. It gives you a nice balance. For depth I like to have this on 65 because again, high depth is very good in FIFA 23 with how pace works, and if you have your depth on 65, especially with your lengthy defenders, you are able to catch up to the striker a lot of the time, and it also helps keep good pressure on your opponent, which is important when you need goals. For build-up play, I think balanced is the best for the 4-4-2 because with fast build-up it can be a little bit more difficult with a formation like the 4-4-2 where it's quite a flat formation, if you get what I'm saying. With the 4-2-3-1 there's a lot more layers to the formation, so it's easier to link up the play like that. The 4-4-2 is a bit more of a basic football formation, if you will, so I think balance works a lot better on this. Chance creation, as always, I suggest direct passing because it's the only one where you get proper movement out of your players. If you don't use direct passing, I don't really know what you're doing because it's the only one which will actually make your players move properly in the final third. Now for width, attacking, I like to have this on 45 because again, the 4-4-2 is still quite a wide formation, so it's best to utilize that width to your to the best of its ability. So having it on 45 again gives you that nice width, but you've also got that nice narrow style too where it's very difficult for your opponent to predict. That's just my preference, that's why I have it on 45. For players in box, I like to have this on 7. Again, this is down to personal preference, but when I'm closing in on my opponent's penalty box, I like to have a lot of players in the box because it gives you the best chance of scoring. Now by having this on 7 you can obviously get counter attacked, but like I said, at this point you'll be losing the game. You do need to take a few more risks, and yeah, I think 7 is a very good balance. Now for corners and free kicks, again down to preference, I just have this on 2 because I think it's the best, but yeah, you guys can do what you want with that. Now for the players you want to use, it's very important that you get the right kind of midfielders, the centre mid. So for my right centre mid I have Renato Sanchez, who is a high and a very good box to box centre mid. You need a player like that because they help with the transition of play. If you have like 2 medium highs, for example, your centre mids don't get enough movement. You know, you can't really carry the ball up the pitch, so having at least one player that is high is very important to transition from defence to attack. Renato Sanchez is very good at it. Now my other CM is Patrick Vieira. Now he's a medium, but he's my more defensive centre mid, and we'll show you what we do with them in a moment, but it's good to have that balance of like a box to box and a more defensive centre mid. Now for your wide players, this doesn't really matter too much. Their defensive stats don't have to be too good, but obviously if you could get high defensive work rates on these players, it also helps a lot. So Jota is a high, which means he's up and down the pitch and helps you in defense and attack. Chiesa is a high medium, which is obviously not high, but he still defends pretty well. You know, your right mid and left mid are mainly there for extra support for your fullbacks. You know, their sole purpose isn't to defend, it's mainly to attack. So make sure you've got good players out on the wings, players that you actually like using. And yeah, for the strikers, it's important you have good strikers. So I've got Ronaldo and Leao. Ronaldo is a lengthy player with an architect, so he makes really good runs. Leao is just a very good player. I don't know why he's so good, but I like him a lot. So make sure your strikers are like 2 meta players. Fullbacks, again, it's up to you whether you go for a more defensive fullback, let's say Kyle Walker, or a more attacking fullback like Hakimi and Hernandez. But yeah, again, it's down to preference. It's what you like, really. Now for player instructions, I think for the 2 strikers, the best settings you can have are stay central, get in behind, and stay forward, because you don't want these players drifting off to the wings too much, because you have the right mid and the left mid for that reason. So by having these 2 on stay central, it means they're always in the striker positions, which is very important for this formation. Get in behind just means they will always run in behind the defensive line, which is very good, especially with lengthy players like Ronaldo. And yeah, stay forward just means they don't get involved on defense. So I find it very useful for counter-attacks. For both your right mid and your left mid, I suggest come back on defense and get into the box for cross. Come back on defense isn't always a super defensive tactic. It just means your team will keep a shape when you do lose the ball. So when you do lose that ball, Chiesa and Jota will come back to join the midfield line, so it makes you a bit more solid when you are defending. Get into the box for cross doesn't mean you have to spam crosses all the time. It just means that their AI will move into the box for chances. Obviously you don't have to cross it, you can pass it, but it makes them have better movement in these situations. Now for your more defensive centre mid, so mine is Patrick Vieira, I suggest stay back while attacking and cover centre. The reason for this is because, again, if they're not too good at attacking, you don't really want them contributing to the attack, because it's not what they're good at. You know, you're better off just having them back for extra defensive support. And cover centre is important because you don't need these players covering the wing. You've already got Jota and Hernandez, or your left back and left mid, and Chiesa and Hakimi. So, you know, you don't need them to cover the wings. For the other centre mid, your more attacking one, you just have them on cover centre because, again, you don't want them in the wings and you want them to join the attack because they're a box-to-box player. So just leave them on balance, guys. Now for your fullbacks, this is down to preference. You can have them on balanced attack, but I don't know why these have reset. But what I do is I have them on stay back while attacking, and when I want to utilize their attacking ability, I will use the attacking fullbacks setting on the D-pad. So, you know, I can just trigger them to run forward whenever I want, basically. So having this on stay back while attacking means you can quickly switch to, you know, attacking fullbacks whenever you want to. So I suggest just leaving them on stay back while attacking because you've already got good width with this formation, so you don't really need them to join the attack as much. But again, if you want to, you can. But yeah, these are the custom tactics that I use for the 4-4-2. If you guys have found this video useful or informative, I would very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you all later. Peace.